Hey everyone, it's Sarah. Thank you so much for joining me here tonight or today, whenever you're watching this. Welcome back to my channel. It is Reality Squad. Now, in my last video, I did talk about Deavan. I talked about the fact that she issued a cease and desist to the coordinator of the GoFundMe for Jihoon and his international custody battle. And I gave my thoughts on that. Basically, I was surprised that of all the content that has been made about her, she decided to go after the person that's trying to help reunite Jihoon with his son. I guess I shouldn't have been surprised by that, but it just seemed like a big case of Deavan logic, and we're going to talk about some more today. So let's just jump right into it. Okay, so as you know, on January 1st, Deavan issued this cease and desist to Amanda, who is the coordinator of the GoFundMe for Jihoon. Jihoon has started giving interviews. He's been on a podcast or two. He's been on some people's YouTube channels. Amanda has continued to speak out on his behalf. And Deavan on January 11th announced that she was going to go live. I think a lot of us, or at least myself, I was like, oh, she's going to address this. She's going to say why she sent this cease and desist. I don't know why I thought that anything she was going to be doing was going to be pertinent to what's going on, because that just wouldn't make sense for Deavan. The live itself was kind of strange. I don't know why this was a pertinent topic. They talked about dating apps and different kinds of dates they had been on. They talked about being in long distance relationships. Nothing specific to what is currently going on. And ultimately, I think this was a deflection attempt by Deavan to kind of bring focus on her and away from Jihoon and try to focus on something that had nothing to do with the show. I think she overestimates how much people are truly invested in her everyday life. People really care to know what kind of dating apps Topher has used. The one thing that I did find incredibly interesting was that in the video or in the live, she acts like she barely knows about dating apps. Like this is almost like a foreign concept to her. Take a look.
Today's video, we thought it would be kind of fun, like I said, to relieve some stress, to talk about dating in this day and age, like how people meet, some bad dates we've been on, just some fun little stories. So I find it really hard to date in this day and age because everything is done online. Like what do they have nowadays? They got Tinder.
There's a ton of dating apps.
Bumble.
There's Coffee Meets Bagel.
He used Coffee Meets Bagel.
Yeah, I used that one a few years ago.
I've never heard of that one.
What's interesting there is that we all know that Deavan and Jihoon met on a dating app, and it seems like they met on Tinder. Here is Jihoon actually describing how they met.
And I'm just curious, so I downloaded this app, and I found ugly pass, beautiful, pretty, yes. But I found Deavan. Super like.
Another clip I wanted to show you guys was she was answering a couple questions, and one of them was regarding the documentary. So take a look at what she has to say in regards to the current status of the documentary.
When is the unseen footage going to be released? So the documentary, do you want to answer that question? When the documentary is coming out? It is to be determined. We are working on a few little last minute edits, that kind of stuff. But the documentary is going to be out soon.
So if I'm keeping up with everything, in previous Instagram lives that she's done, in the trailer for the documentary, even in some previous vlogs, I think she mentioned that we could expect the documentary early 2021. I think that's what everyone was expecting. Now it's TBD. Now that Jihoon is has launched to try to get his paternal rights, It seems now they have to go back and tweak some things. I found that very interesting. I wanted to talk about Jihoon for a second because he has now gone out publicly. It's not just Amanda speaking out on his behalf. Last night or Tuesday night, he did do a live with 90 Day Yahoo Boy and Lita. His attorney was there, as well as a translator, and Amanda. It was, and they really asked questions regarding the allegations being lobbed, about the case, about the fundraiser. So if you haven't had a chance to check that out, I would highly recommend. So all in all, I think Jihoon is incredibly lucky and fortunate to have people that really believe in him, that want to encourage him and are helping him to fight for the custody of his son. He is incredibly lucky. He probably just didn't know where to go or how to start or what to do. So in the sense that someone was willing to put in the time, which it had to have taken a ton of time and legwork to get this going, Jihoon is very, very fortunate to have that. I think that Deavan just did not see this coming. In my opinion, and I've come to the determination for my own opinion, that Deavan, when she left Korea, the relationship, at least in her mind, was over. I don't know to what extent her relationship with her new boyfriend was at that time, but I don't know if she truly had any intention on ever going back to Korea. And I don't think Jihoon was aware of this at all. I think that this was really blindsided him. Maybe that was a little bit of naivety on his part, but I think that when Deavan said that she was coming back, he believed her. And I think when Deavan got to the United States, she decided that she wasn't going to go back to Korea, and she did not expect that Jihoon was going to do anything about it. I think Deavan concocted this plan, in my opinion, to accuse Jihoon and his family of things that she thought people would really sympathize with her on, and people would understand and support her decision to move back to the United States. I don't think that she anticipated that anybody would reach out with any kind of meaningful help to really help Jihoon in his international custody battle. And in that instance, I think Deavan is really shocked. And at this point, she has to be scrambling. In this instance, I think two things can be true at once, at least for me it is. I think that you can believe that in the past, Jihoon has not shown a great ability to adult very well. But ultimately, he is good-natured, and I think with the right tools and guidance and support, he has the capacity to get there. So I believe both of those things. From the show, from Deavan's own YouTube videos, I don't think there was anything in those videos, especially the ones she put on YouTube herself, that had nothing to do with TLC, so she can't claim that TLC forced her to do any of that. It doesn't come across at all the things that she's accusing Jihoon of. Jihoon seems very good-natured. He seems pretty mild-tempered to me. And he seems like a willing and eager parent. He seems to have a very good relationship with his son and Drusilla. And I'm just going off of what we see on her own channel of the videos she put out. So if she's putting out a lie and now expecting us to believe her, this is her own content that she put out. So we're going on her words alone here. The other thing I found really heartbreaking, and they did ask Jihoon about his parents in the interview on Lita's channel, and it's incredibly sad because for several years, I think from 2018 up until about a year ago, Jihoon, by Deavan's own coordination, Jihoon stepped in as Drusilla's father. Jihoon's parents took over and stepped in as grandparent figures for Drusilla. And by all accounts, by everything we've seen, they adored Drusilla and obviously Taeyang as well. So this whole situation is really so heartbreaking for his whole family. Is experiencing the loss of not just Taeyang, but of Drusilla too. She might be hard to parent, or she might be strong-willed, but she seems like a very loving child, and she seemed to have a very special connection with his parents and with Jihoon himself from what I saw on the show. It's important to point out that Jihoon has categorically denied all of Deavan's allegations. He has clarified the hair pulling incident, and for everything that she has painted him out to be, he has come out and said absolutely not. From what, and like I said, from what we've seen on the show, from what we've seen on her YouTube channel, I'm inclined to believe Jihoon at this point. Also, I'm just gonna say, I don't think that we're gonna be seeing this documentary anytime soon, because if they're initiating a custody battle, which we know that they are on Jihoon's part, at least, Deavan seems like she'll probably be the respondent in this case. Any evidence that they're claiming they have in this documentary will probably be subpoenaed by the family court. So I can't imagine that we would see it before a judge would see it. So I don't think personally that we're going to be seeing this documentary anytime soon. Personally, I think that the fact that she chose to save all of this evidence, as she says, for a documentary and didn't run straight to the courts with it, proves that her priority is not her children, that her priority is saving face by doing something that people probably would have frowned upon, i.e. taking her children away from the only father they ever known, ripping her family apart. She wants to save face and continue to grow as a social media influencer. I think that was ultimately her priority here. I think by going live, Deavan thought she would distract from all of this chatter on social media regarding the GoFundMe, regarding the cease and desist, regarding just everything that's happening right now with what is going to be an international custody battle. Ultimately, I thought it was kind of a snooze fest of a video. I don't think we really learned anything, but that's just my opinion. Also, I think that just the biggest takeaway was I don't know why she wasn't wearing pants in the video. But I think that was the biggest, like, girlfriend, you're not wearing pants. But anyways, to each their own wardrobe. One of the things I'm not sure Deavan fully appreciates or realizes either is that what she is accusing Jihoon of is very serious. These are very serious allegations. And Jihoon is incredibly smart, and I'm so glad that he has accepted the advice, the guidance, the help of these people that have reached out, and they've constructed this GoFundMe and this fundraiser in such a way where people can comfortably donate. If they don't fully think that Jihoon might not be fully financially smart with money, they can safely donate to help him, knowing that it's only going to be used for these for the purposes of fighting for his rights to be a part of Taeyang's life. And so I think people can feel really comfortable in that. What do you guys think? What do you think of all this? Did you watch her live? What do you think of this cease and desist? I've gotten a lot of feedback. I think the vast majority of us think that it's very silly and is not going to result in much. Do you think she's going to address the GoFundMe or the cease and desist or any of this at all? Will she end up putting out evidence on her own, or will she continue to talk in vague terms and say intentionally misleading things that could make us draw our own conclusions? I'm leaning towards probably that, but you guys have to make sure and let me know down in the comments. Make sure you like and subscribe to this channel. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Reality Squad, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care, everyone. Much love.